or there's a secondary part to this. So, um, all this is going on with the Epstein files, and every day they put out a new hit piece on Melania and Trump and all this stuff about the Epstein, this and that, and all this stuff, and then she literally comes out on national TV press conference. Trump doesn't know about it because he confirmed it later that he didn't know that she was doing that, and throws down for like 5 minutes about the Epstein's, how she was not a victim and that she didn't know him and all this stuff. We're gonna play it right now, but that's going on. On top of that's why Trump, Alex was talking about your wife is even turned against you because Trump's whole thing is loyalty. That he's loyal. You better be loyal to him. But
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
not gonna be loyal to
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
You know,
But
and
see, that's that rich, entitled. He's and those were the things I never. And this is what it was when he had that show, and he was everywhere, like in the movies in the '90s.
oh,
I never liked the
The
motherfucker.
Apprentice.
Yeah, and then like Home Alone 2, he was in everything. Fuck, he
Yeah,
was everywhere,
yeah.
dude. I never liked the motherfucker. But then he came in and he started doing shit. And I was like, oh, all right, well, fuck, I'll get on board. But
I really
now
thought he was the one too. Let's
that's the thing that hurts the
we'll
most,
get into
bro.
more of
That's
this.
fucking that's what pisses me off the most.
Let's play these two. I'll play these two clips back to back because
All
of
right.
time restraints. But it's all about Melania and Trump. So stand by.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I do not object to their ignorance, but rather I reject their mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation. I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach. To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell. My email reply to Maxwell cannot be categorized as anything more than casual correspondence. My polite reply to her email doesn't amount to anything more than a trivial note. I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. I met my husband by chance at the New York City party in 1998. This initial encounter with my husband is documented in detail in my book, Melonia. The first time I crossed paths with Epstein was in the year 2000 at an event Donald and I attended together. At the time, I had never met Epstein and had no knowledge of his criminal undertakings. Numerous fake images and statements about Epstein and me have been circulating on social media for years now. Be cautious about what you believe. These images and stories are completely false. I'm not a witness or a named witness in connection with any of Epstein's crimes. My name has never appeared in court documents, depositions, victim statements, or FBI interviews surrounding the Epstein matter. I have never had any knowledge of Epstein abuse of his victims. I was never involved in any capacity. I was not a participant was never on Epstein's plane, and never visited his private island. I have never been legally accused or convinced of a crime in connection with Epstein's sex trafficking, abuse of minors, and other repulsive behavior. The false smears about me from mean-spirited and politically motivated individuals and entities looking to cause damage to my good name, to gain financially and climb politically, must stop. My attorneys and I have fought these unfounded and baseless lies with success and will continue to maintain my sound reputation without hesitation. To date, several individuals and companies have been legally obligated to publicly apologize and retract their lies about me, such as Daily Beast, James Carville, and HarperCollins, UK. Now is the time for Congress to act. Epstein was not alone. Several prominent male executives resigned from their powerful positions after this matter became widely politicized. Of course, this doesn't amount to guilt, but we still must work openly and transparently to uncover the truth. I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn testimony. Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public if she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered into the congressional record. Then, and only then, we will have the truth. Thank you.
But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going.
Now is the time for Congress to act. Epstein was not alone. Several prominent male executives resigned from their powerful positions after this matter became widely politicized. Of course, this doesn't amount to guilt, but we still must work openly and transparently to uncover the truth. I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn testimony. Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public if she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered into the congressional record. Then, and only then, we will have the truth. Thank you.
Bro, I couldn't fucking live with that woman. That fucking voice, dude.
God?
Oh God, bro. That accent. Just sit there and look pretty. I know that's sexist, but my God, that fucked up accent all day long. Oh, Donald, Donald. I'm like, holy, shut the fuck up.
All right, let's get back
Thank
to
God
okay,
you're
so,
hot.
yeah,
I know that's
she's very,
sexist. Oh,
very
well.
hot. And now there's pictures all over the internet
Yeah.
of her being
As that
on Jeffrey
motherfucker
Epstein's
sitting right
lap.
next to the motherfucker who's giggling, that Lutnick.
That's an older video, by the way.
Oh yeah.
That was
Yeah,
back when he was talking about, oh, we're talking about
Yeah.
Epstein file. But the thing is like, so she did that. and he didn't know that she was doing that, right?
Something's
And he's running his his Epstein file cover up, and she's like, they need to come out. So Alex thinks that she is cutting bait right now. I don't know.
I don't know,
We're
man.
gonna move on
Yeah,
from
that's the
that.
crazy stuff, dude. Why? I mean, why? That's like giving out information. Why even fucking say it? If you know what I mean, that just trips me out. That's like giving
Why he would say that?
no her.
Oh,
You know, it's like shit don't need to be said. I mean,
well, they have been slandering her for years. I mean,
well, I would
and I
too. I
think
just
she's
heard her fucking talk for 5 minutes. I'm like,
and
fuck.
she's getting in front of something. Like
Yeah. Oh
the
yeah.
shit's
Oh yeah.
getting
That's
ready
what
to
I
go
mean.
down.
Yeah. Some shit's about ready to.
Yeah, and
That's
I
what I'm
think
saying.
it's because
She's
people.
forecasting.
Yeah, I think she's doing that so she don't go to jail.
Yeah.
There's probably something that none of us know about because
Oh
they're
yeah.
all in the club.
Yeah.
But you ain't,
Yeah.
but they are.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get into this Epstein snitches. About that?
Uh-uh.
First of all, Mr. Khan's answering every question thus far. He's completed 2 full hours of deposition. I would say we are possibly at the halfway point. It could last more than 4 hours, but uh, he confirmed there were 5 clients that paid money to Epstein, and that was Les Wexner, Lynn Dubin, Steven Sinofsky, the Rothschilds, and Leon Black. We've already deposed Wexner, and we're going to be deposing Leon Black very soon.
Files are coming, man. They're not gonna let it go. They better not let it go. I'm not letting it go. I'm
No.
gonna fucking just keep pounding on the fucking table if I have to. Epstein files need to be handled.
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk. The Russia hoax needs to be handled. It needs to never happen again in a presidential appointee's history ever again. That kind of stuff. They need to really fucking deal with that. Will they? I don't know, but they should do that. And this thing with Israel needs to be over.
Well, my thing is, what is it fucking gonna look like after the midterms, bro?
Oh,
We're already fucked right now. You know what I mean? We're not even in the summertime.
he's hoping that he's going to pull some fucking rabbit out of the hat. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Let's keep going. We got a couple clips of Kelsey Gabbard. I just love her, man. She's a presidential.
Yeah.
She's gonna be she's probably the first female president, I think, because she is cool, calm, and collective. She brings facts,
Mhm.
and she don't waver.
Yeah.
And a lot of these dudes, a lot of these people, they bob and weave based on what works for the time being, and she doesn't. She's
Yeah.
like,
Straight down narrow.
and she's got heart, right? Got heart. And Trump has always been a bullshitter,
Oh,
like a fucking shoe salesman.
a fucking used car salesman.
Yeah, he's always been like
He's a
that.
fucking shyster.
But he was good for a minute, and if he would have stayed in that lane and not, what he did is he did the same thing he did in 16. He put a bunch of fucking globalists or fucking the warmongers and all that shit in the cabinet, a bunch of Democrats in the cabinet with him.
That's the one thing I saw yesterday too, and today.
What?
Him fucking riding Lindsey Graham's jock like a motherfucker. I'm like, bro, that is
They
not the guy.
They have to have something on it.
Oh, it's like
They must have
Lindsey
something on it.
Graham? Are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck out of here.
I'm gonna play these two back to back just to get them
Yeah.
off the thing. These are about Russia hoax. Obama.
That doesn't just affect Democrats or Republicans. It's not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is an issue with such significant impact that it should concern every American because it has to do with the fabric and integrity of our democratic republic. We had a situation here where in the months leading up to the 2016 election, The intelligence community assessed, and this is what the documents detail, the intelligence community assessed essentially Russia doesn't have the tools, the capability, or the intent to try to change the outcome of the US presidential election. Donald Trump pulls off a historic victory against Hillary Clinton in November of 2016. Even in the days after that election, the intelligence community continued their consistent assessment that reflected the same thing in the months leading up to the election. All of a sudden, in the early days of December, there was a president's daily brief that was drafted. This is put together by the different elements of the intelligence community that reflected that same assessment. Russia did not try to hack the election, in essence. That PDB, that document, was pulled hours before it was supposed to be published for the president to see that following morning. That document was never published until we released it yesterday. One day later, President Obama calls a meeting of his National Security Council, his top officials, to be held on what they called a sensitive topic. And the results of that meeting, which we released yesterday, and these over 100 documents that talk about in detail how President Obama and his team, he directed a manufactured piece of intelligence that detailed not if, but how Russia tried to influence the outcome. You go to odni.gov, people who say, well, Tulsi, this is just your view or your interpretation. No, it's all in hundreds of pages of documents that I've declassified and released that show point by point exactly what happened through this timeline that showed this very dangerous thing that occurred in the creation of Russiagate, the creation of this manufactured intelligence assessment that essentially had the intent of undermining the voices and votes of the American people who elected Donald Trump. They were not happy with the outcome of that election. And so they created this politicized, weaponized piece of fake intelligence that, as you mentioned, then went on to serve as a foundation for everything that came after, the multiple investigations, the years-long Mueller investigation, 2 congressional impeachments, investigations in the raid at Mar-a-Lago. The list goes on and on. Ultimately, the real crime here was against the American people because this action singularly undermined the integrity of our democratic republic. What to speak of the fact that some of those folks and those 37 individuals that we revoked, directed the revocation of security clearances from today by under the direction of President Trump, they aided and abetted in this action, this seditious conspiracy that undermined our democracy, undermined our republic, and broke that sacred trust that every one of these professionals is supposed to have from the American people.
Okay, so 2 things. You probably don't know because you've been unplugged for a week. Trump was going to fire her.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah.
And what we found out today is who talked to Trump was Roger Stone. Talked to him, and reminded him that Gabbard is the reason why they have this information, amongst a lot of other information, but that this information came from Gabbard, and she's the only one that's in there really,
Doing her job.
right? It's not Cash Patel, it's not Todd Blanche, it's not Susie Wiles. I mean, it's her. And also on the show today, they had a little back and forth about the 25th Amendment because Roger Stone's like, I think you went a little too far. This was before he came out and Trump came out and did that. I mean, not Trump. Alex came out and made that statement. That was towards the end of the show. Before that, he had Stone on.
What did Stone say?
And he was like, got to look at all the good things that's happened, all the good things that Trump's done, and maybe this shouldn't have happened or whatever, but got to look at all the good stuff that he's done. And Alex was like, look, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? Right. And Roger Stone was like, basically said that she is going to be on the, if not 28, for sure 32. She's going to be running for president. So, you know what I mean? And because he's a political strategist.
Oh, absolutely.
So
But it
anyway,
just blows me away that he's, look what all he's. We did. We
50
keep on. Why do you
50
think we've overlooked all this bullshit? But we can't overlook it no more, man.
right, 50 years he's been friends.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
great. But fucking, you don't see that your homies lost it. Something's not right. You need to fucking pull the chain on that dude. Be like, check this out, brother. You're fucking going an opposite direction. This has nothing to do with MAGA. And quit fucking saying MAGA because, old man, you're gonna break your hip someday and you're gonna be gone. And that's just the way it is. And MAGA's still gonna be here.
I think MAGA's done.
I
I
know.
think we're going to be America first. That
Yeah.
should have been America first.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, I get you.
It's just like, dude, it fucking
So
it pisses me off, dude. That just,
I think that what they've done, like what Gabbard was saying, Tulsi Gabbard, what she was saying, DNI, Secretary of DNI, what I think that, or the director, excuse me, of DNI, I think what she's saying is because of what Obama did and Brennan and Clapper and, all those characters, what they did was they fractured the fabric of America
oh,
by
absolutely.
by doing that. And for it's been 10 years, almost 9 years. It's been 9 years, and nobody has ever been brought to justice for. And they've known for years that this was going on. They knew before she pulled the documents.
Oh yeah.
They knew that the Russia hoax was exactly that, and they proved it, although they didn't do nothing about it. And then as soon as she got in the office, that's when she brought, so a year ago, she brought the goods about this. And so I don't know if it's possible to get rid of, because it's politics. Politics is dirty. I don't know if there's a way that we could actually have somebody in office that did what they said they were going to do. I don't know if it's possible.
I'm sorry. I thought, yeah, the disillusion is back, bro, with me, and that's fucked up.
Yeah.
It really is because
I
I'm
re-
just like
I
I'm
really,
totally
really,
disillusioned.
I really,
again.
really thought that we were going to get
So did
some
I.
good,
So did I.
good stuff from this, and
Yep.
and either
I was feeling that way until about last, I don't know, September, October, and then shit just started changing. You know what I mean? Little things. You just see him fucking. That doesn't match up.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
So I mean,
And who knows? He's done it before, but I think the damage is done.
I think he's too far. I think
yeah,
he's too far.
yeah.
You going after Alex Jones?
Yeah,
Your
well, that-
number
yeah.
one supporter.
Yeah, motherfuckers.
He was your number one.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
he had the biggest show, 50 million views a day.
Yeah.
50
Oh yeah.
million.
Yeah.
And he's got a problem. Tucker Carlson's huge. 60, 50, 60 million a day. Also, every time.
But see what I'm seeing also is both Alex and Tucker and every Candace, all of them are off of the Israel train. And Trump can't be. He can't be. He's too deep now, dude.
Yeah,
You know
he's
what I
taking
mean?
money.
Well, dude, he's got
He's
fucking
taking
Trump.
money.
He's got Trump, some fucking civil or I don't know, some place in fucking Israel's fucking named after Trump. Like a fucking land, like Trump land or whatever it is. A community is named
Gaza,
after him. You know what I mean?
Gaza.
Yeah, some shit like that. But
Yeah.
it's like, dude, you're too deep now, dude. You know what I mean? They got their fangs in you.
We're gonna get to it. I have more stuff.
And
Let's
his
listen
fucking
to-
little
Let's listen to
Kushner, man. That guy. He's a
So